and we've been coming here. This is 10th year, and then we've seen a lot of improvement every year we come, right? And that's why we admire you not only for the golf side, but for in the whole industry, development of facilities, hotels, everything. And then coming back to our event, Kun Paul, this is 10 year, and I would love to ask you how you feel about supporting All Thailand Golf Tour for the past 10 years, and what makes you to feel like you have to continue supporting this event?
I remember when we first created this event, when we started this event, and Laguna would never start an event that we didn't think we can continue forever. So like our triathlon is over 30 years. Our marathon, international marathon coming up next month is celebrating 20 years. And now Sing Laguna Phuket Open, we're at 10 years, quickly, just like that, 10 years. But when we created the event together, I remember saying to you that we see this as a long-term thing. We don't just want to do it 1, 2 years, 3 years and then disappear. We really want to be able to build from it. And that means in the beginning, you're careful as to how much you commit and how much you do, because you want to be sustainable. You want to be able to do it every year without any worry. Even during the pandemic, even during a downturn, the good times, the bad times, whatever, we still want to be able to do this event in partnership with All Thailand Golf Tour, Sing Corporation. We want to be able to give the players an opportunity to showcase their skills. And All Thailand Tour is, it's an amazing development tour that helps to prepare players and provide for players, but then also feeds into the Asian Tour. There's many Asian Tour players playing here this week, and also gives younger players and even other, new golfers at our PGA Academy, gives them the inspiration to come and see the best players play. It gives them more excitement about golf. For 1 week a year, we see the course in a totally different setup, with all of the amazing setup you guys do. And it inspires and promotes golf from all different angles. And also our caddies and our staff, this is the highlight of their year. They love to be a part. It's hard work during the week, but they wouldn't change that. They want it to be hard work. They love it. The weather sometimes gives us extra challenges, but we always come through them together. And it's an amazing experience. So let's hear to the next 10 years.
สวัสดีครับท่านผู้ชมครับวันนี้เรามาไกลกันนิดนึงครับมาถึงลากูน่าภูเก็ตนะครับเราได้มีโอกาสได้รับเกียรติจากคุณพอล วิลสัน MD ของลากูน่าภูเก็ตนะครับซึ่งได้ให้สละเวลากับเรามาร่วมพูดคุยกันเป็นครั้งที่2แล้วครับปีที่แล้วก็1ครั้งแล้วปีนี้ก็เป็นครั้งที่2นะครับลากูน่ากอล์ฟภูเก็ตเรามีสิงห์ลากูน่ากอล์ฟภูเก็ตโอเพ่นปีนี้เป็นปีที่10ครับแล้วก็ผมยินดีอย่างยิ่งที่ได้รับเกียรติจากคุณพอได้มานั่งคุยกันสวัสดีคุณพอครับครับ Good morning sir.
Thank you. Nice to see you.
From your experience around the world, starting from UK and then get to work in Middle East and then took that experiences back to Thailand. What leadership that you take back from Middle East to Thailand?
I'm originally from England and did my PJ training in England. Very fortunate that I had my mum supported me to do what I was passionate about rather than a normal academic sort of profession. So I was very fortunate in that sense. Loved my PGA training and qualified, and then wanted to test myself in the international industry. Researched quite a lot all around the world, and Troon Golf came back as a top management company of the world. So I really tried hard to get a job with them, and ended up in Abu Dhabi in the UAE. Worked on the Saadiyat Beach project and also Abu Dhabi Golf Club in around 2008, about four years or so. So had so many great experiences there, learned from so many amazing leaders, so many amazing people. I think one thing that stuck out to me was always leading by example, so don't ask people to do things you're not willing to do yourself. Old American boss of mine called DJ Flanders used to say, inspect what you expect. So even if you have expectations, you can't just close your eyes, you still need to be out there, walking areas, seeing things, inspecting what you expect at all times. So I use that now a lot with everyone here. So yeah, very much about leading by example, being, earning people's respect by doing, by not being afraid to get your hands dirty, also including people, but also at times you have to be a leader and make a decision and stick to it. So yeah, that's sort of my philosophy today.
So what brought you to Thailand? You've been working in Thailand like 14 years now?
So I was in the Middle East. I was really enjoying the UAE. The golf industry was very vibrant there, but just had an itch to travel further around the world into Southeast Asia. I'd met some owners of a golf club here in Phuket, actually, Blue Canyon Country Club. I'd met them previously and just reached out to them saying, are there any opportunities? So actually my first role in Phuket was at Blue Canyon Country Club in 2012. So I arrived here, worked for them for a little bit, and then it was just sort of the timing, how things happened. Banyan Group in Laguna Phuket, they needed someone to come here and help lead them through a renovation of the golf course. So it's something I had experience with, quite a unique experience of doing that as a PGA Golf Pro. So then I ended up in Laguna Phuket, and then the rest is history. It's 14 years later, still here.
Time flies. And actually you start with looking after the golf course as director of golf, and then you became an MD, right? And then what you're proud the most of your journey? They trust you and they give you opportunity and you're doing so well.
I mean, personally, I'm very lucky. I work for Banyan Group, and our chairman, KP Ho, is an amazing man. And they will give you opportunities if you earn them and if you prove yourself. They will give you opportunities, and the company doesn't put you in a box, pigeonhole you as to, I'm the golf guy, so I can only do golf. The company are very open-minded that you have certain skills and you have a certain character that you can do anything with that skill and with that character. You're not just limited to that one speciality. So, and many examples across the group like that. We have a guy who's our regional head of hotel operations for the Americas, for Africa, for Europe. It's a huge part of the world. And he started as a chef. So his background, he was a chef. Not even the top chef, he was the middle level chef. Now he's raised all the way up to be the senior vice president of all of our hotel operations. So there's many other examples such as that. There's, we have a lady in Bangkok, Kungai, who I think you know, our GM of Banyan Tree Bangkok. She started as the front office staff in Banyan Tree Bangkok. Now she's the senior vice president. She's the general manager of Banyan Tree Bangkok. Huge hotel, big operation to manage, and she leads a big team there very well. So there's so many examples like that, and I think that's because our group creates a certain culture and environment where people can achieve, and it's a very healthy and positive environment to work in.
Huge opportunity for people who work in the group, right? And then you took that very seriously, and you became an MD. And what difference between looking after only golf course, but now looking after the whole group?
I mean, it happened in stages. So I went from the golf director of one golf course, then the golf director of 3 golf courses, then started to do other music and sporting events. So we have a triathlon that's 30 years old. We have a marathon which is 20 years old. We now have a Sing Laguna Phuket Open which is 10 years old. And so we started with sporting events, music events, then got into the general operations of the place. So on a big level, on security, on transport, on landscapes, on engineering, and so I sort of added layers over time. It wasn't a quick overnight success. It was a many years of hard work, dedication. Had a lot of amazing people as well around. It's not a one-man show at all here, and just adding layers and layers that you end up in a place where you're different to where you started. But I'm not the type of person that just sits back and reflects on how great it's been for 14 years. I'm also very driven, looking at this year, next 5 years, next 10 years. Yeah, and I think everyone can be, and the biggest thing here is the people. We're in hospitality. It doesn't matter how amazing your hotels are, or your residential area is, or your golf course is. It's about the people. So the people who maintain those things, the people who serve the guests, serve so those people have to feel included. They have to feel wanted, motivated to do the best job they can do. I think a lot of people are secretly quite ambitious in their own minds, and you want to be able to give them opportunities and give them a platform in which they can then try and develop themselves as well.
So you have a very strong team. You have Kun Papa who helps you in terms of looking after like local people, right? And local business. And now you have Stephen Chick to help you look after the golf course. And then you just finished Annika Slam event, right? One of the young lady, right? She shot 58. What do you feel about that? You create so much opportunity, not only hospitality, but especially for golf.
I think two things. I think one is on our team. You mentioned Kun Prapa, Mr. Stephen Chick. It's a big team. We have 2,500 people here in Phuket, in Laguna, of which then maybe 10 or 12 maybe report directly to me, and they're very key people. But under them, there's so many other key people, to name. There's too many to name, and everyone plays their role. And it's the leadership's about clearly communicating and organizing, and then giving people the tools they need and the training they need if they need it, and then trusting them to go and to do it. So not being over them, looking at everything they do. You have to give them some trust, and you have to give them some space to go and do what they are expected to do. As long as you've communicated the expectations clearly, then they can go off and do their thing. And this is a big place. It can't be done just by one person or by a few people. It has to be a collective. Every corner of the resort, there's people doing their job as best they can do it, no matter what their job is. So it could be sweeping the leaves off the grass, cutting the grass, could be making the breakfast, could be leading, like Stephen manages, as a general manager of golf, Kumprapa is, AVP of corporate affairs. It doesn't matter what your job is, you do the job your best you can, and then our company and our resort will succeed. I think on the second point on Marissa and the 58, Stephen very kindly gave her an honorary membership as long as she holds the course record. I think she's safe for a while. I don't think anyone's going to beat that for a long time. The Annika Asia Invitational really attracted us because it's more than just about golf. It's about young people. In the Annika Invitational case, it's about young female golfers, but teaching them so many skills through golf, but teaching them life skills, not just to be a golf player. So it's teaching them to be confident, to be determined, to work hard, to be respectful, to play with other people. Golf can teach you so many personal skills and can develop people's character. Sports can, but I think to me golf is one of the best sports for that. And I think the Annika Invitational and the Annika Foundation in general is much more about trying to help develop young ladies to become successful in whatever they want to do. And there's an interesting stat from Rob Unho, the president, who was here, who worked for a long time on the PGA Tour. Now he's president of Annika Foundation. And he said that 75% of females in corporate leadership positions in America did competitive sports as a junior. So 3/4 of all corporate leaders, of ladies who are on CEO levels of banks, of whatever, private companies, on boards of listed companies and so on, 75% of successful corporate female ladies, they are coming from a professional or a competitive sport background, college and high school and so on. So I think that's the power of sports, that it can help prepare people, young people, to then succeed in the world, whatever they like to do.
Seems like it's a strong foundation to shape one person to be a very good person through sports, right? And then I've heard that I've been informed that Laguna Group has been growing quite a lot lately in the past several years. What the key to it?
the key to the growth. I think there's many things. I think internally we have what we call it internally as like a growth spirit. And I think I've heard that with Sing before as well, about the Sing spirit. And you know, it's a feeling, right? And it's a culture, a company culture. It's an environment that's created from the top down. So it's created from the chairman down, through the leadership team and through the management team. That environment is a positive environment where you're constantly in flow. You're always trying to find a way to improve, evolve. Don't just be satisfied with what you have and just sit there. Always look at what we can do. What can we do more? Not just from business, but from the community, from the environmental side, from the social side. What can we do more? How can we do it better? That's what we can control. Then the market factors of Phuket. Phuket's booming as a destination at the moment. You know, amazing airline connections from all around the world. Very, very strong tourism and hospitality sector with so many amazing facilities, restaurants, schools, hospitals, beach clubs. There's like Rava Beach Club in Phuket, Laguna. You know, it's becoming a very desirable place to be. It's also becoming more expensive than it was before, but I think that's a normal market conditions. Yeah, so we have lots of residential projects ongoing. We also have a couple of hotels in the pipeline, which is sort of not announced yet, but will be eventually. Laguna will never sit still and just stay where we are. We'll always look at what we can do, and that goes from all the fancy hospitality things. It also goes to the basics as well of environmental stewardship. So, you know, something very important for us now is water, how we manage our water, because water is a scarce resource. And, you know, we go through a drought period, we go through a flood period. So how do we best manage our water? How do we best manage our power and be more energy efficient? How do we manage our waste? So how do we reduce waste? But also then if we do produce waste, how do we recycle? How do we try and close the loop on certain types of waste as well? To become as resilient as we possibly can. That's sort of the boring part of my job that takes up a lot of time. But it's really important to create that foundation in which you can then build off from tourism.
And we've been coming here, this is 10th year, and then we've seen a lot of improvement every year we come, right? And that's why we admire you not only for the golf side, but for, you know, the whole industry. Development of facilities, hotels, everything. And then coming back to our event, this is 10 year. And I would love to ask you how you feel about supporting Thailand Golf Tour for the past 10 years, and what makes you to feel like you have to continue supporting this event?
I remember when we first created this event, when we started this event, and Laguna would never start an event that we didn't think we can continue forever. So like our triathlon is over 30 years, our marathon, international marathon coming up next month is celebrating 20 years. And now Sing Laguna Phuket Open, we're at 10 years, quickly, just like that, 10 years. But when we created the event together, I remember saying to you that we see this as a long-term thing. We don't just want to do it 1, 2 years, 3 years and then disappear. We really want to be able to build from it. And that means in the beginning, you're careful as to how much you commit and how much you do, because you want to be sustainable. You want to be able to do it every year without any worry. Even during the pandemic, even during a downturn, the good times, the bad times, whatever, we still want to be able to do this event in partnership with All Thailand Golf Tour, Sing Corporation. We want to be able to give the players an opportunity to showcase their skills. And All Thailand Tour is, you know, it's an amazing development tour that it helps to prepare players and provide for players, but then also feeds into the Asian Tour. There's many Asian Tour players playing here this week, and also gives younger players and even other, you know, new golfers at our PGA Academy, gives them the inspiration to come and see the best players play. It gives them more excitement about golf. For 1 week a year, we see the course in a totally different setup. With all of the amazing setup you guys do, and you know, it inspires and promotes golf from all different angles, and also our caddies and our staff. This is the highlight of their year. You know, they love to be a part. It's hard work during the week, but they wouldn't change that. They want it to be hard work. They love it. The weather sometimes gives us extra challenges, but we always come through them together. And it's an amazing experience. So let's hear to the next 10 years.
Yes, sir, definitely. What we're so proud the most, partnering with Laguna Phuket, Laguna Golf Phuket, just like you just said it, during those tough times, during good time, bad times, we always go together. We never, leave each other, right? And then I think my team and Autumn Golf Tour and everyone around will be thrilled to hear what you just said again. That we will continue another 10 years and we continue forever. And this is the DNA, right, of Laguna Group, right? You don't want to start something that not sustainable. Yeah. So this tournament produces many new generation of champions. And what do you feel about that? It's like this tournament produce here new champion again, here new winner, new champion, and feeding to higher tour.
Yeah, I think every winner, it's been brilliant to see some of the past winners here then go on to win Asian Tour. And to even just be competing in Asian Tour, it makes us very proud that we can see, not just the winner, all the players that compete on the Sunday, but especially the winner always becomes special to us. And when you're driving up the banyan tree driveway now and you see all the winners, the pictures of the winners as you drive in, it's great to see, and that we hope that by doing this that we have given them one step, helped them with one step in their journey, and then to see them go on into the Asian Tour, to see one of them end up putting at St Andrews in the Open and finishing like so high up in the Open in St Andrews when just a matter of years ago he'd won here, and it's amazing to see some of those players do it, but also it's exciting to see the next, who's next. So who wins this week, and then what do they go on to do? And how can it benefit them in their journey? I for a very brief amount of time thought I could maybe be a player, not for very long, but I thought when I was younger, I know how hard it is. These guys have incredible resilience of character to turn up week after week, traveling, practicing, with no guarantees of anything. So starting on a Thursday, they have no guarantee they're going to make the cut and make any money. So it's a gamble, it's a risk, and I give them a lot of credit for so many of them dedicating themselves to doing that. And without the All Thailand Golf Tour, it would be much harder for them, but they still have to earn it. It's a merit-based sport, so they need to go and earn it. And whoever wins this week will definitely earn the trophy.
So one of the big part of All Thailand Golf Tour and having a tournament here, we always have some legendary player come back to play with us. Like this week, we have Prayat Mark Sang, right? We have Chap Chai, and we have top names come to play. What do you feel about those legendary players keep coming back to our tournament?
Yeah, obviously Prayat is one of our legends of Thai golf, and he's inspired, there must be thousands of people to take up the game, and I'm sure he inspires the field, the younger guys in the field to keep doing it. And I think one of the beauties of All Thailand Golf Tour is these players such as Prayat, they always give back, and they play many events on whether it's on the champions, on the seniors and the legends, but they also come and play on the All Thailand Tour. So then the younger players that are coming up, they get to play with them in practice rounds, they get to talk to them in the clubhouse, they get to play with them in the tournament. So they're learning from them the whole time. Even if they don't know it, they're learning because they're observing and they're seeing what people like Prayat do. It was interesting yesterday, I was talking to some of our members, and they were so excited to come today to watch Prayat. And this week he's not near the top. He made the cut, but he's quite a few shots away from the leader. But our members were so excited to come and be able to see Prayat play in real life, because they've heard so much about him, seen him on the TV, Japan tour, all the other tours and everything. So they were excited to be able to come today and see Prayat playing golf, on our golf course as well, see how he plays our course, but just to be in person and watch him play. And I think that's, flipping it all the way back to like leadership and corporate sort of stuff is you're always learning no matter who you are. And take every opportunity you can get to learn. And you can learn from good people, you can learn from not so great people as well. But there's always, every experience, there's something can be learned from it. And again, take the opportunities. So when Pride Marksang comes to Phuket to play golf, come and bring your son to watch him play on the range or on the golf course. Come and watch, come and see, because these experiences are priceless. And everyone can always learn something.
Being a leader is not just only lead people, right? You lead by example. You just raise the charity, right, for the orphans around the area. You put yourself at risk by boxing. So what in your mind? I would love you to share that being a leader, putting yourself at risk in some kind of sport that you've never been done before.
Be human and real. So nobody's perfect, and if you try and be Mr. Perfect, Mrs. Perfect, people will see you as a fake. You have to be humble and honest, that authentic. You have to be genuine and real. So nobody's perfect at everything. Everyone has skills and some things they struggle with, some things they excel with. So that's okay, and you can still do anything you want to do without being perfect. I think that's one thing to note. And I think the golfers will agree with that. You need to lead by example. You need to be willing to do anything. If you would ask someone else to do it, you, in my opinion, must be willing to do that thing as well. So yeah, unfortunately in this case it was white collar boxing. And just without thinking, I said, okay, I'll volunteer. It's for the Children First Fund, which is our foundation of Laguna Phuket. We raise money to help support orphanages around Phuket. Because even though there's a huge amount of wealth in Phuket, and it's a beautiful luxury area, you can drive less than half an hour and you can be in an orphanage where there's nearly 100 kids from the age of 5 to 18. Without any families, with no parents to guide them, without any support. So they reach a birthday, there's no family there to celebrate it with them. They have a problem at their school, they have a problem in their life. They don't have anyone to be able to lean on, right? And we're all very fortunate, that we all have some members of family that we can lean on, and they don't. So raising money is one thing, then it's what you do with the money is the next thing. What we try and do is we support their everyday lives with just place to stay, food. We have some amazing volunteers and teachers that help them as well. They're the real heroes, to be honest, these volunteers. And then the other thing we're really trying to do is, through this charity boxing, is to buy a new mobile library. So it's like a large bus that's converted into a library that we can move around with books and learning materials and all the different things. So we're trying to help the kids get some basic form of reading and writing, which then hopefully will help them to get on their feet, to be able to go and get a job. We'd love to have them working in Laguna Phuket, for example. So by being more confident and being able to read and write, then we hope that they're able to change their lives, and it's changing the whole direction of their families, for the next generation. So something that means more than pretty much anything else. That's Laguna Phuket philosophy. So no matter how successful we are in our business, being a good member of the community is the most important thing. So we're a big place, 2,500 rai and 2,500 people, but we're still just a part of the community, and we have to look after each other, take care of each other. So whatever we can do to do that, then we should. But yeah, I'm happy my boxing career is finished. I've retired. 0-1, I lost. So I've retired from boxing now, but now because I've done it, I can then see who else wants to put their hand up next time to have a go. Maybe Mr. Stephen Chick, you never know. I don't think Proper will do it.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's one of many things that we do to try and support. And I know Singh Corporation are the same, and that's why I think we work so well together, Singh Corporation, Laguna, Phuket, because I think we share a lot of the same values.
Not only your team they were so proud of you. We were so proud of you too. And our team, when they were informed that you're doing this for very, very good intention for the kids, they're super proud of you. Yeah, thank you so much. And the last question, if this world doesn't have golf, if golf isn't exist in this world, what your life would be?
Much worse. So golf definitely is being a huge part of my life. I mean, my life would be very different without golf. And again, not just because of the sport and having a job in the sport, but I think what the sport teaches young people. So I don't think I'd be the character I am if I hadn't been a golfer when I was young. You know, I don't think many things, right? You know, I remember as a young player going to the golf course every Saturday was tournament day, but juniors were not allowed to play the adult tournaments on a Saturday. So I would go there and I would volunteer to be the reserve. So I would say to the pro, I would say, if anybody cancels, anybody needs a partner, I'm waiting. I'll wait on the driving range. So I used to sit on the driving range hitting balls, and I'd be the reserve. So if it was a 4-ball game and somebody's partner was sick, or there was a 4-scramble game and somebody's teammate was no show or something, I would jump in and play with 3 random adults and play the game with them. And I learned to meet almost everyone in the club. I knew everybody who was doing that. But I think that taught me how to handle myself, to be confident but respectful. You know, and everyone who plays golf has learned so much from golf. So my life would be, very different with that. I can't think of a world without golf. I don't know what would we all do without golf?
I'll be losing job.
Yeah, we all would. And I'm not sure what we'd do without golf.
Right. So we lost our passion, right? The best passion that we really have from watching people go and grow along with the game, right? So thank you so much, Kun Paul, for your valuable time, and thank you for your support, not only to All Thailand Golf Tour, but to golf industry and hospitality industry, and the lesson that you share with all the people, I think invaluable. Thank you so much, Kun Paul. Thank you. สิ่งที่คุณพอกับลากูน่าภูเก็ตได้ทำไว้เนี่ยมันมีมากมายจริงๆซึ่งผมเชื่ออย่างยิ่งว่าลากูน่าภูเก็ตก็จะเจริญเติบโตยิ่งขึ้นอีกแล้วก็ดีใจมากๆครับที่เอา Thailand Golf Tour ได้เป็นส่วนหนึ่งของกิจกรรมที่เราได้สร้างร่วมกันครับเจอกันใหม่เอพิโซดหน้าครับขอบคุณมากๆนะครับสวัสดีครับ